Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip, the show about surfing and skateboarding. If you'd like to join the show tonight, give us a call at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Perlberg and Terry Campion.
Good evening and welcome to the Off the Lip radio show. Broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California. Tonight we have a very, very special show. In fact, this is a 2-hour special show that I've wanted to have since the show began.
That's a long time.
86 show right now, I think, TC. Could be 87, almost getting to 100. You think
Wow.
we make 100?
What should we do for our 100th show? The centennial. Best of.
Best of show.
Yeah, it should be a best of show.
I know.
I'm into
that'd be a
it.
good show.
Yeah.
But tonight, in studio, we have Mr. Jim Phillips, Mr. Jimbo Phillips, Mr. Colby Phillips. 3 generations of the Phillips family.
We've talked about this for a good long time, having these 3 guys here.
Since the day that Jimbo decided he didn't want to be the co-host of the Off the Lip radio show. He said, I'm not doing that. I'm leaving. Okay. Remember, Jimbo? I let you out of your contract if you do me a logo. You drew me a logo like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? You're done.
Hey,
but the logo came out good.
TC said, yes, I want to do the show badly in one ear, and you were telling me in the other ear I ain't doing it. I'm out.
Too much pressure, man.
It was way too much pressure. Now you're old hat.
It's easy.
This is easy. It's a piece of cake. And Colby, by the way, I do the jokes in the studio. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, kid. Jim, I want to welcome you to the Off the Lip radio show. I'm stoked that you're here tonight. Very excited.
Thank you for having me.
How does it feel to be in the studio? Does it feel good with the family?
Oh, fabulous. Yeah. I'm not digging the chair and stuff.
Do we have to hook you up with a better chair?
My leg's cramping up.
Okay, we're going to get him a better chair. Jimbo, switch chairs with your dad. Yeah, switch chairs. We have to get Mr. Phillips all set up with a nice chair here. Yeah, something firmer.
This one doesn't have the armrest.
Yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm. That looks better.
Musical chairs.
I know. And if you want to check out the show tonight, see what's going on in the studio. In fact, we have a studio audience tonight.
Look at that.
Massive studio audience. That's you need to stream live on the surfchannel.com. You can check it out.
There's some characters over there, if you ask me.
What can you describe, TC? Who's over there?
Well, I mean, we got Roscops here.
Rob Roscop's in the house.
Yeah, Meekster. It's pretty
Meekster's
cool.
here. Guzman's here.
Klaus Grabke's here all the way from Germany. Thanks for coming, buddy.
Who else?
There's a hand that's screaming, and I'm not sure what. That's a real groupie when they scream.
The screaming hands in the house.
So that's kind of neat. And there's 2 of them. There's a decaying screaming hand.
Oh my God.
Jimbo did, which is but yeah, that's a don't get near over there. Look at all the teeth. It's very toothy.
It's rough. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We do tweet. If you want to check it, I
saw you tweet earlier.
I just tweeted a picture of the Phillips family in studio.
Can you drive in the diamond lane with those?
Yeah, I know, right? We need a school bus for all those characters.
TC, what do you want to start with, Mr. Phillips? What do you actually begin? I don't even know where to begin.
Is that the first question? Where did it all begin? I mean, sheesh. I know there's a lot of comic books in Mr. Jim Phillips' life when he was younger, and I mean, that's a great way to start. You're so well known for your art. You're an icon on this planet. And where and how did you decide this was what I'm going to do?
By default, really. And to explain it, I have to kind of go back to the beginning.
The beginning's good.
That's where we want to be.
That's why I made the show 2 hours.
So my father was in the Army. He was an officer, and we moved from place to place until I was 6 years old. So I went to 8 different schools by the second grade. So I just didn't get school. I was always behind. I just couldn't do it. So I would draw. They gave me a pencil and paper, so I would draw. And I never did get it. And so I just drew my high school diploma away and surfed and didn't care about it. And I had more experience than anybody, so, they call on me.
And how, I mean, we look at Colby, your grandson here, a published artist at a very young age.
Pro.
Yeah, a super pro. And, well, look who he's learning from. But my question to you is, when did this start? Like, when did you become a professional artist? How did it start?
Well, my first published work was a entry in the Surfer Magazine Surf Car Contest, cartoon contest. They called for entries. It was 1961. And so I drew Woody going over a cliff with some waves out there. And it was an honorable mention winner, although they showed it, bigger than anybody's, so it's kind of funny. It didn't win a place, but...
And how old were you then?
I was 17. So that inspired me, and I wanted to do more. And, Rick Griffin had the Murphy thing going, so I decided to start working for Surfing Illustrated. And I submitted cartoons to Walt Phillips, and I met Walt and did a series of cartoons, and then he asked me to do a series of a cartoon story, like, Murphy. And I was just so into surfing that I just shined it. I just never could. I was at the beach every day, and I just couldn't ever get to it, And it was kind of an irony that we make this living, drawing this cool stuff while everybody out there is doing it. We're sitting in chairs, drawing it.
Yeah. No,
kind of grating.
And from that point on, it was the start of your commercial career. And early on, who commercially were some of your biggest clients? Because I know we obviously know your connection with Novak and NHS, but before that, what were you doing? A whole bunch of rock and roll posters.
Well, I had a freelance service, and that's why I was available to the work that they had for me, and when Jay and Rich called. I just, it was another job, and you didn't think it was a big deal because, just jobs come and jobs go, so I did my best like I always do. And it's something that stuck and grew, and it's been so amazing.
It's funny how he talks about back then we didn't really know it was going to be so legendary.
I was into surfing, skateboarding was surfing's ugly little cousin,
That's what you cared about most was surfing, correct?
Pardon?
You cared about most was surfing.
Right. Yeah.
That was it.
I skateboarded. We had the old bun boards, but it wasn't much fun. We did it on flat days, but, we were totally into surfing every day,
But you made your living from hot rods, right? Hot rod?
Not much.
Music.
Skateboarding, 99% of my fans are skateboarders, so if that tells you anything, yeah.
Right. And surfing.
Sure.
Okay.
So, he was all in with the fun and games, and then Rich would come in and unlock in the morning and see all the mess and, ball us out. And we knew that as soon as George came in, he'd explain.
Yeah, George was a character.
Oh, he was, yeah.
And it's interesting with the skate part. The history of Santa Cruz skateboards was kind of an accident, with as far as Novak's dumb luck and being there at the right time.
Being there, yeah.
Yeah, but I heard a story about Jay Sherman, and you were the ones that came up with the Santa Cruz dot. And Rich has been on the show and said that was Jay wanted a circle because he thought that would be the right shape. And maybe you can enlighten us on that. Is that how it came out?
I have to go back a little on this. Do we have time?
I think it's absolutely. We've got 2 hours. I think it's very important to discuss the red dot because it's huge.
How that
came about and how the angle came about of the Santa Cruz lettering, how that came about.
Yeah, I could just tell you, but the good story is a little bit longer.
That's fine. We want to hear the good story.
I'm ready.
But we want the good stuff.
It starts with the first phone call, and Jay and Rich would both be on the phone at the same time. This is how they operated for everybody, both of them on the phone. And it's really hard. One talks to you, and then the other, and then, it's like you just say, okay, whatever you want,
Right.
So that's how I got my first call, and okay, I'll come down. They have the desks side by side, and you talk to both of them right there in the office, and they're...
That's intimidating.
Yeah, and well, they're bros, and they'd want to talk about the surf instead of real business, and so you'd have to kind of crowbar that in, sort of, So that went on for quite a while. And it was just hard for me because I had a lot of responsibilities and these guys were jokers and everything, and I back and forth. And I said, listen, can I just deal with one guy? And so they looked at each other and, they're fine with it. And Rich says, hey, well, Jay's a little more creative. Why don't you work with Jay, So Jay was great. And when I went in, I'd bring in my sketches and he'd say, put them on the wall. And we'd pin them all up in the wall and both of us would sit back and look at them and talk about each one and stuff. It was really a great way to do it. It was like art school where you had a critique, and you put your stuff up and talk about the flaws or, the good parts. So Jay would sit there and he'd go, Jimmy, could you make like a red dot? I just see it. And he'd always say that. He said, I just see it. And sure, that's the easiest thing to do. Take the Santa Cruz lettering we were using, and stack it on there, right? So, and it's funny that, I'm known for this art as my most famous piece as an artist, and it's just not even my idea, the red dot part anyway. I did the lettering. So Jay did that a lot with the Independent. Jimmy, can you put little pin lines all around it? I just see it, and so I'd go make sketches and we'd put them all up on the wall, where, okay, now I can see it. He's great. He said, make it in every color. So I'd go back and I'd come in, we'd put up all the different colors, more pin lines, He was really great to work with. And I really miss him when he died of leukemia in 1979. And it was just crushing for everybody, for Rich and everybody that worked at Santa Cruz.
Right.
I don't think Rich has recovered from it yet. I mean, that was his best friend.
You can't. Yeah,
best friend.
Just deal with it, yeah.
Do you, just real quick before we go to break,
Right.
that red dot you see it, you live in this town. Do you smile a little bit when you see it? I mean, you got.
You mean ka-ching?
No. But you must get the satisfaction of an artist and seeing your art and people's love of it. It has to be.
It's exhilarating. What can you say? Yeah, the hand is better for me because that's all mine.
Right. And we're gonna get to the hand.
Jay didn't think of that. So.
Right. Yeah. No. And there's questions about that coming up.
Well, the red dot's about it's now signifies it's a worldwide brand. And people think of Santa, as you told me this.
Right. I've had Australians in my store. They're like, we didn't even know it was a town. Right. And you're like, whoa, that's pretty wild.
It's upscale in Japan.
Right.
It's like expensive.
I want to thank Santa Cruz Skateboards for being the title sponsor of the show tonight.
Hey, wow.
They stepped up and they go, we want to be a part of that Phillips show.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm very, very stoked.
Cheers to that.
I got the cup right here. Look at those surfboards in the background here. This is Neil TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show. Here tonight with 3 generations of the Phillips family. If you want to call in tonight, the phone number is 831-479-1080. This may be a once-in-a-lifetime chance for someone to call in and speak to Jim, so give us a call. This is Neil TC. Be right back after this very short break. The Off the Lip Radio Show welcomes Santa Cruz Skateboards as the title sponsor of tonight's show. 3 generations of the Phillips family. Since 1973, Santa Cruz has paved the way for skateboarding. Through its iconic artwork and progressive skate team, Santa Cruz continues to help define what skateboarding truly is worldwide. They invite you to check out the past, present, and future of the world of skateboarding on their social media outlets, Instagram at Santa Cruz Skateboards, Facebook.com Santa Cruz Skateboards, and SantaCruzSkateboards.com. Thinking of a vacation in Santa Cruz? Then contact Beach Nest Vacation Rentals at 831-722-0888 to make your reservation. The very best local vacation management company with their staff will take care of the tiniest of details to better your memorable Monterey Bay holiday. They are pet-friendly with a choice of homes on or close to the beach in Santa Cruz and the Central Coast. For further information, go to beachnest.com or follow them on Facebook. Toyota Santa Cruz is under construction, building a state-of-the-art facility at their current location on 41st Avenue and Highway 1. Julie Frigoli, the general manager, would like to invite you all to take advantage of their need for room while all the heavy equipment is on their facility. She would like to inform you that there is no time like now to get unbelievable sailings on a new Toyota or one of their certified pre-owned vehicles, and that their highly rated parts and service is still open 7 days a week. So now is the time to take advantage of their mess. Head down to Toyota Santa Cruz or check them out online at santacruztoyota.com.
Hi, this is Steve Pereira, the beach guy at Bailey Properties in Santa Cruz, California. If you're looking for a beach home or a coastal property, give us a call at 831-818-7064, or you can call my wife Diane at 831-818-5939, or drop in on our website at lifesabeach.com and check out all the inventory in all price ranges. We've been selling beach properties since 1982. We're here to help you. Give us a call today.
And we are back with the Off the Lip radio show, broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California. Here tonight with 3 generations of the Phillips family. TC, we better take this phone call before trivia because this guy's calling from the East Coast.
All right.
This is Bobby. Bobby, good evening. Welcome to the Off the Lip radio show. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. You have a question for...
I just wanted... not really a question.
Sure.
I just wanted to tell Jim Senior and Jimbo, thank you so much for all they've done all these years and inspired people like me to just keep going and keep going. It's really nice. I met Jimbo and Colby one time when I was out there. But I just figured it was a nice time to call in and just say thank you to them all at once since they're all there.
Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much, man.
All right.
Call back another
Okay.
time. Thank you. This portion of the show is the trivia portion of the show, brought to you by
Easy.
Felix. Sand Dollar Ding Repair. No,
Yes.
Sand Dollar Surfboard Repair. Jeez, me Christmas, dude. You got to polish up on your skirt.
There's a restaurant named after that hurricane.
There is?
Mhm.
There is?
Yeah.
You're very right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get back to Mr. Phil. Where were we? We still in the red... Did we
Well-
finish the red dot story?
Well, we were
Jim,
talking
did we
about
finish
how
it?
it was very
Jim, did we-
upscale in
That was finished,
Japan. Yeah, but right after that, and there are some art that you created during that time that still carries on, and one of them is the Screaming Hand that you mentioned, Jim. And my question about the Screaming Hand is, whose hand was it? Because I was told by someone who works in NHS,
Dave Friel.
Dave Friel took the. He claims it's his hand.
He posed his hand with a wheel, and now, why would I've got a left hand right here. Why would I look at his hand holding a wheel when I've got the hand I can pose right in the right thing and draw? I mean, why would I go anywhere else?
Good
It's
question.
crazy.
So straight from the artist, that was your hand that you drew.
Of course. I mean, you're at the drawing board. I need to draw a hand. There it is. What am I going to go look through the magazine to find
Okay.
his ad? you
Just
know?
wanted to be. So that's a self-portrait, the Screaming Hand.
Of course, of
That's
my hand.
and that's good for our audience to listen. And my next question is, what is the hand screaming?
It's yawning, you know.
It's
It's
your-
the yawning
You
hand.
can't hear it. Yeah, he's been partying all around the world, and he's quite jaded now. He likes to be called Mr. Hand.
He wasn't screaming something at Rich?
There's Novak?
Yeah.
Hi, Rich. Yeah.
Well, there's been a lot of variations of it. I just saw the tattooed hand.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I know that over here we have the cane hand.
Here's what I want to know about. I want to know about the Indie Bar and Cross and how it came about.
Okay, but first we should mention that we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of Screaming Hand, and they're NHS and Santa Cruz Skateboarders preparing a big party, and they're inviting artists from around the world, top artists of the genre,
Right.
to
do
do a Screaming Hand version. And this will be a traveling art show that'll go around the world.
I think Cab's doing it.
Yeah.
And he mentioned to me that he was very honored to do that,
He
just
was
to let
first-
you know.
First on my list.
Yeah, and which is amazing.
Is your son and grandson?
They're both involved.
Yeah.
Artists like
Now-
Shepard Fairey and Dirty Donnie, and just you could go down the list. I mean,
And you
it's-
made this list. You helped to
I contributed
your
you know,
thoughts on it.
Are you collaborating, Jimbo, with your son, or is this totally independent thing?
I think we'll probably do separate pieces. Yeah.
Colby. He's gonna when you sleep.
Yeah.
When you sleep, Dad's gonna sneak in and see what you're doing.
I'll tell you something interesting about the Screaming Hand is it was for speed wheels. We all know that, but it's not associated. It's a standalone icon. The Screaming Hand is its own thing.
And not only that, but it's pure skateboarding. There's not a contest, but a survey of the best skateboard logos, right? And Independent came up first, and then the Bones, VC Johnson's skeleton guy, and then Screaming Hand. Now, Screaming Hand was pure skateboarding. The skull is just a pirate thing that's been around for ages.
Right.
And the cross, that was from the Crusades and Columbus. They all had it, The cross has been around forever.
And
the Germans, everybody,
the Pope.
They got tired. The surfers' cross, the bikers' cross. It's been around forever. Not made for skateboarding. Screaming Hand, 100% skateboarding.
You heard it right there, folks. From Jim Phillips' mouth.
There you go.
And to be recognized number 3 like that. I mean, look, you have 2 at the top right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What an honor to have that sort of history. It's amazing.
Thank
you.
you.
Gonna go Roscoe?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it just
Target?
goes down the line. And what about we could throw the classic dots? Got to be up there in the top ones as well. But what I like about the Screaming Hand is that it's almost like a brand from a graphic that you drew that wasn't really, because like I said, Speed Wheels isn't really known for the Screaming Hand. Screaming Hand's known for the Screaming Hand.
Yeah.
And that's a really good story.
Well, for Santa Cruz too.
The Indy Bar and Cross?
That was one of Jay's. I see a bar going across it. Really? Yeah.
I love
Truly.
that.
That's how
Even the way you look up at it,
Yeah.
he
He saw it floating up there.
I picture you remembering him and the way he held up his hands and did that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just went up and saw Mr. Novak, a little meeting with Mr. Novak, and there was your art on the wall in that area there. Is that
in this
in Rich's-
cappuccino room.
in the
Yes.
oh, now it's the ice cream room, because he opened up the fridge and about 15 tubs of ice cream came out. Because they didn't get,
His
just buy an
dirty
ice
little
cream shop.
secret.
I think he just bought an ice cream
Well, the
shop.
mezzanine we know his office, and great point, because that's pretty recent art for you.
Is it individual pieces that he has up there?
The paintings.
Yes.
He hired me to do 36 paintings, which,
Did
you see there are 22 of them until I kind of got tired of it and started working on my book. And that was like a deep hole, so I was gone for, 6 months on that and didn't get back to the paintings, but he still wants me to finish up the 36. So.
He's expecting a few more.
Yeah.
He reminds you of those. Well, and a lot of those are true stories. Now, the people listening, they're online. I'm sure you can see pictures of those paintings, but a lot of those were actually true stories in those paintings.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
What's your favorite of all those?
My favorite, gosh, there were so many colorful events in Santa Cruz in those days along the cliffs, with the cars and woodies and surfboards, that I try to express all that. And to me, that's the joy, the stoke, the anticipation where you're driving to the surf and you see it, everybody's pointing and you go, wow, look, and that's the best time. And then you go out and it wasn't as good as you thought, or you got hit by your board and you come dragging in and you're cold and shivering and, it's not as good as that first part.
Rich loves to talk about the kooks. And he always talks about that. And there's that one picture of the all flat black Woody running over the surfboards and the guys screaming. Was that a true story?
That's a true car.
The black Woody?
Yeah, Bucky Logan's car.
Huh. And that they actually ran over some surfboards?
Can I ask you a question? What happened the first time you tried to surf at Pleasure Point and you ran into Rich Novak? Can we discuss that?
Yeah, it's amazing, really. I mean, it's so ironic, but I started at Cowell's. I surfed, and from Santa Cruz High School, we could walk down there and borrow a board or something. That's how I got started. So then some of my buddies, they say, hey, it's good down at the Hook, and so Pleasure Point. So I was down with my friend Big John, and we were ready to go out at 38th Avenue. And I had these dorky skin diver pants, they come up to here.
Right.
And I felt so ashamed. Here comes Rich Novak that I recognize. He's one of the upperclassmen at school, and I'm like a new sophomore, and you feel like 2 inches tall anyway, and they came up and badgered us and said, you can't surf here. So I turned around, I'm ready to go, and John stood up and said, wait a minute, you guys aren't surfing at 38th, you're surfing the Hook. Why can't we go out? And they just kind of walked away mumbling, so okay, we got to go surfing,
Well, according to Novak, Big John saved the day. Yeah.
Big John was big.
Even at 16, he was tall. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes, what saved him was he had this big dude with him.
But I was ready to leave and never come back right then,
Wow. And then he says, then Jim was okay. That's what Novak says. Jim was okay.
Well, I hope I earned my way, and I've worked for him so many times, and we've become good friends and everything along the way, But it's amazing, too, that, Jay was one that kind of stepped in front of us when some big, hodads were going to beat us up, and Jay stepped in front of him. So he saved us, and Rich tried to kick me off the beach, so kind of neat.
I just want to remind everybody, you're listening to the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO here tonight with 3 generations of the Phillips family. For those of you who don't surf, for those of you who don't skate, you are listening to the man right now, Mr. Jim Phillips, who everybody knows. Everybody either has one or knows what the red dot logo is that has Santa Cruz written on it. So you can drive down any street in Santa Cruz and see that logo on someone's shirt, someone's sweatshirt, someone's hat, someone's something. The gentleman here tonight is the one who designed it and drew it, and we're lucky to have him in the studio. So, in studio tonight, Mr. Jim Phillips, with 3 just the other generations being Jimbo and Colby. They're coming up very shortly. This is Neil TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show. We'll be right back after this very short break. Don't go away.
831. I have some great news that finally, after 25 years of everybody looking at that hole in the ground on Pacific Avenue, I can say to you now, something is actually going to happen there. So stay tuned to the Our Local Sports Show for further development. People ask me all the time, have I missed the boat? Have I lost that opportunity to buy a house? And I tell them right now, with rents rising the way that they have been, they're averaging 10% a year increases in rents, but yet interest rates are so low, it's still a great time to buy and lock in your housing costs for the next 30 years. So come talk to me at Real Estate 831 and let's see if we can put a plan in place for you. You can follow us on Facebook. You can call the office 475-5695, or you can check out our website, re831.com.
It's a new life for me, yeah, it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Hi, this is Sherry from The Healthy Way, here with Neil from the Off the Lip Radio Show and the Our Local Sports Show, who successfully completed a weight loss program with us.
Yes, thank you, Sherry. I'm so stoked how I feel. How you and your staff helped me achieving my goal of losing 25 pounds. It truly was easy. And importantly, 3 months later, I'm still at my desired weight. I am feeling better, surfing better, and mention this KSCO ad for your free consultation with The Healthy Way.
Let us show you how you, too, can use our simple and easy program. Just give us a call at 831-462-5900 or take a look for yourself at thehealthyway.us or follow us on Facebook.
And we are back with the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO, where they ask you to listen and be heard, broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California. In studio tonight, we have 3 generations of the Phillips family talking art, surf, skate, hot rod, music. Also in the house, we have Chicks and Mr. Michael Zwilling.
I know the big boss is here. I know the big boss is here right now.
Breathing your mic. I better make some good radio. What's your language, TC?
I won't swear, I promise.
I got to talk about my boys. I got to talk about my lads. Okay, because I saw something on Jim's website. The Beatles. Jim, you did a poster for the Beatles, is that correct? Well, I saw it was the Beatles were on there, and it was an album or a show cover.
It was a poster commissioned by Arnie Woo Woo Ginsberg, who was the big DJ of Boston that time that Dolly grew up with all through high school. They listened to Arnie Woo Woo. He'd woo woo, in the show all the time, But he was one of the first guys to play a Beatle record in the U.S. And so when I ran into him back then, it was 1967. He commissioned me to do a Beatles poster, and it was when the Beatles' All You Need Is Love album was out, so that was the poster, All You Need Is Love. But it was cool to be able to just do a Beatle poster in those days, and then now, as I did a second edition, to have that as a collectible,
Right. And you did one for Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, it wasn't published. It fell apart. The show didn't happen, but it was supposed to be at Madison Square Garden with Bob Dylan, and I worked like a month on this poster, and the whole thing fell apart. So at least I finished it.
Right.
It was a done thing.
Right, and then there was one I saw for The Doors.
The Doors, the first East Coast appearance, yeah, and that's where I met Dolly at that club in Boston, the Crosstown Bus, and we both worked the light show for that Doors appearance.
So that's where you met Dolly at?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little about that? How'd that go down?
Love at first sight?
How smooth were you?
Better ask her that.
I will. Where is she? Dolly, call her up.
First caller from home would be...
Yeah. Dolly, would you mind calling in 479-1080? We want to see
how smooth Jim was.
The king of smooth. Or was it could be called Screaming Smooth?
Hey, I got her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you good.
Yeah, you obviously did great.
Yeah. So, what was the question?
The Doors poster. Sorry, went off on Dolly there. Sorry.
Oh, do you want to know how we wound up there? I wound up there?
Yeah.
I was back in Florida. They have these big surfboard factories back there where I go back and work here and there, and I was back there. And Jim Mazzio was kind of going across the country doing light shows for Buffalo Springfield and some of these bands that he was traveling with, and we were in touch, writing. And so then he called me up from Boston and said, there's a rock and roll club here that do you want to do posters? There's an art department and everything. So, man, I was tired of glass and surfboards of Florida. It's 100 degrees back there, So, and I had some money saved because I just work and save my money. That's all I do when I'm down there. And so I headed straight up to Boston and drove a couple of days straight, maybe slept one night on a 3-day drive and just pulled right up to the front, and they handed me brushes and paint, and they said, we're going to paint the front of this. It was a old kind of a theater building, and there was a ticket stairway that was all painted black. Must have been a disco or something, I don't know, but so we were going to paint it psychedelic. So I started right there painting it at the bottom with bright colors. And the art director, Jim McCracken, he started at the top. And we're going to meet in the middle with this psychedelic painting. And so it was like a race. And he had a helper, and that was Dolly. So I clued up that, hey, I need a helper too. I need her.
And the rest is history?
Yeah. So she was a ticket girl, and like I said, we worked together in Mazzio's light show where they had this booth. It was an amazing place. We were the first guys to have Mylar, which from the space NASA, they used for spacesuits, and it's that, chrome. So we lined the whole place with this stuff. It was just totally a Mylar auditorium, it was amazing. We spent a lot of money with that, and then the lights would bounce off it. It was pretty psychedelic. And then while I was doing the light show, one of my projectors, we'd use carousel projectors for different images, and one of my slides didn't drop down, and it put out bright light on Jim Morrison, and he's just there and going, huh? I think he flipped me off, I swear, but so I was banging on the thing and it dropped down and it worked and everything, but it was my moment with Jim, Later he tried to pick up Dolly, but she was with me.
Whoa. Jim Morrison trying to make a move on your wife?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a pig.
Well, he moves on every chick.
Wow. So he flipped you off and then tried to steal your girl, too?
Yeah.
Jeez, Jim Morrison.
Who the hell is he?
I don't like him anymore.
Me either. I used to like his music. He sucks. Okay, we're going to talk about we're going to go to hot rods because you have obviously a
Thank
passion.
you. Yeah.
We're getting,
Well,
we're going to get passionate about hot rods. Before we go to the hot rod and get the four wheels portion of the show, I want to know how you fixed your van when you couldn't jack it up.
fix the van.
Fix the van. I got a note from somebody today that said you couldn't ask you how you fixed his van when you couldn't jack it up.
Is this a trick question?
No.
This is the first I've heard of this.
I know. This is
Mr.
secret
stuff.
I'll let more into it. Mr. Novak said, ask him about how you...
This is Novak. Oh. You put mattresses on the ground and tip it over and then pull the pan, just like that.
Is that how you fixed it?
You tipped the van over onto mattresses.
And I got put new bearings in, did the whole bottom ends, tipped it back up, drove away. Except it was an English Ford van, and I ordered the parts, and it took 3 months to get here, and the thing was all torn apart, and I had it covered up, but it got rusted on the journals. And so I put it all back together and hoped for the best, and it went out.
I've never heard anyone roll a car over onto a mattress to take an oil pan.
I rolled my car in front of my mom.
Everything.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
What'd she say? What the hell
she said, my son! And we jumped out and pushed it back up, and we jumped in. I said, see you later, Mom, and we drove off.
A classic.
I think didn't we talk when I was at your house last time about something you did with Marilyn Monroe?
Huh?
Was Marilyn Monroe...
Does Dolly know about this?
Marilyn Monroe. We got to bring that up.
It's in my archive. That's where you have it on the list. Yeah.
Right.
I just because there was a picture of her with a surfboard, and she was a Castroville Artichoke Queen and all. So she qualified for me to be in my surf archive.
She was a Castroville Artichoke. She was
I had no
Queen?
Idea.
Yeah.
That's next year's trivia. That's next week's trivia question
for sure.
Norma Jean, maybe then. I don't know.
Right. Let's get back to hot rods.
Okay.
I'm all about that.
Okay. When I was growing up, and when I was 14 and 15, hot rods were the big thing. I mean, it was huge. You were only as cool as your car. Except us kids, we didn't have a car, so we were nothing.
You just wish you had a car.
Yeah. But my first job was drawing a Big Daddy type monster on this 55 Oldsmobile. And I was doing some like pinstriping and stuff, and so this was a big deal to me to paint it, on a real car and everything. I didn't even have a car. So to the end of the municipal wharf, straight across the indicators, there was like 2 or 3 peaks out there. It was like Waikiki or something. It was really amazing. And then at Pleasure Point, there was like a 50-yard beach all along the cliffs. And then in front of Jack's house, there was a spit of sand that went way out, and the whales would just peel off that thing amazingly. And as, starting surfing, I thought this is how it always was. I mean, it was really great, and it seemed like there was a lot of swells then, to hit these sandbars. I thought it was always, and then next year, those were gone, and they never came back. I think it was when Año Nuevo broke through, because my mom, she was a school teacher in Pescadero, and they used to wade to the Año Nuevo Island. Now, can you imagine doing that today? No, that's deep water out there.
Right.
So that thing broke through, and it brought all that sediment down and flooded Santa Cruz with great, surfing reefs.
Right. Just want to let you know this portion of the show has been brought to you by Freeline Design Surf Shop. We want to let you know that the new stock TC of GSI Hayden-shaped Hypto-Cryptos, Colby.
Do we know what that is?
No idea.
Is it a boogie board?
Hypto-Crypto are on their way. They're on their way, ranging between 6.0 and 6.8. By the way, I'm going to start shortboarding.
All right.
How'd that sound?
All right. Are you going to...
I'm going to start shortboarding.
Are you going to... Is it SUP shortboarding?
No, I'm shortboarding.
You're actually... Okay.
Yeah, announced it on the air.
Thank you.
Also in stock is a line of our sumo boards. What's that? On sale for $5.50. What's a sumo board? This I do know. GoPro Hero 4 Silver and Black editions have finally arrived for the holidays, fully stocked with all the necessary accessories. Plus, their holiday shipments are flooded in for gifts for the whole family. Come by and check it out at Freeliners Time Surf Shop. Neil and TC with the Out There Radio Show. Chris, our engineer tonight. Thanks, Chris. We'll be right back on a very short break. Star Benny is a small family Italian and Argentinian restaurant with something for all. Empanadas, grilled steaks, delicious pastas, homemade desserts, patio pet friendly, specials for kids, romantic seating, big screen TV, beers on tap, and just mention the Off The Radio Show and make your own deal with the owners, Sergio and Giulietta. And for those of you who surf, they even have a starving surfer menu, like a huge helping of spaghetti and meatballs after your session for just $10.95. Remember, they are only open for dinners because during the day, they serve. Star Benny, 2-1245 East Cliff Drive in Santa Cruz. Call them at 831-479-4307 or go to star-benny.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Warnerhalder from North Bay Ford, proud to sponsor the Off The Radio Show. We're here to support the local surf community with a full inventory of trucks, hybrids, and plug-in hybrids. Come see why the F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle for 39 years. We have the perfect surf vehicle in stock, the new 2015 Ford Transit van. We have a model that will fit your needs. Come to the no-hassle, easy place to buy a car, no stress, no drama. We make it easy for everybody. We're locally owned, locally operated. North Bay Ford at 1999 SoCal Avenue or www.northbayford.com.
Chill Out Cafe on 41st Avenue, Santa Cruz is not just a block from some of the world's best surf, but it is also where you can go relax and order the tastiest grub before and after your sesh. Plump burritos, fresh salads, sky-high sandwiches, and a superb selection of hot and cold drinks. They have something for you. Go to chilloutcafesantacruz.com to view their menu and to place your order to go, call 831-477-0543. Chill Out Cafe, where they roll the fatties.
Here we go with the Out There Radio Show. Hour number one of tonight's 2-hour special. Do not go away. We're talking hot rods with Mr. Jim Phillips, who owns a hot rod. His son Jimbo does not own a hot rod.
Wah, wah, wah. Someday,
okay.
he'll get mine.
I think Colby might get one first.
In a few minutes here, I'm going to announce how we're getting Jimbo a hot rod.
Announce it right now.
Are you ready?
You're ready to go.
We all know that Jimbo's got a minivan. And it's a pretty bad minivan. What is that thing?
What if we put flames on it?
Hold it. You don't jump ahead of me. We're going to have the Jim Colby
party
car paint.
Yes.
We're going to paint the minivan and sell it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Jenny, what do you think?
Are you ready for that?
With the wife.
Huh? The missus is behind you with one finger up. I'm not sure which one it is.
We're going to get a great... Are you really into that minivan?
No.
There we go. He signed off on it.
Paint party.
We'll discuss it later. It'll be a media event. It'll be a spectacular barbecue and family
there
event.
You go. Christmas party.
We're gonna paint this minivan live, and then we're gonna auction that thing, and we'll get you a sweet something. What do you want? By the way, I want to ask you.
Oh man, that's tough.
Hybrid hot rod,
muscle car.
Well, what's your favorite?
Or
everybody's got a car.
Or a rat rod, or
what do you want?
I don't know. We'll have to do some research.
Jim, what do you want him to get? What would you if you could have him drive a hot rod? What would it be?
Well, I love my minivan because it's a perfect surf car. Your board can fit in there, and there's plenty of room inside and everything. So I'm a minivan driver.
Oh,
I just happen to have hot rods in the garage.
Right. Well, for his hot rod, what should it be?
So you can keep the minivan and have a hot rod.
Of course.
Jim, what's the
a gasser?
No.
Minivan gasser.
What's the one buried in the front yard? What's the significance of that one?
The
rusty one buried in the front yard.
Yard art.
Just yard art?
Yeah.
Can we dig that up and give it to Jimbo? Or can we
get it going?
Get it going, yeah.
Needs a little work.
His project, if he wants.
Hey, let's talk about your hot rods. What do you got?
Well, the 31, and I've got Rosie, my 46, that I've had for 45 years.
And how did we name Rosie Rosie?
Rosie came named. It was a fisherman's truck. It had an engine from a boat in it, and it was all covered with rust. It was called Rosie because of the rust. So that was in 1970. So you can imagine 40 years later what that rust had done to the car. Plus surfing, we used to surf. We used to get all the kids in the neighborhood and throw boards in the back and take them all surfing, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So lots of salt water under those trees at the hook. Those trees drip gobs of salt. And I had one time I saw a drop, and I scraped enough salt off that drop that you could salt your eggs with. It was amazing, yeah.
And you recently put some effort into Rosie.
Yeah, well, along with Kerry Kuhn, who did a miraculous job cutting out all that rust and putting it back. I didn't want to do. That's why I got the other car, and I did a ground-up restoration on that. But Rosie, I thought it was impossible. And Kerry is so amazing to what he's done. It was just, and we won first place at the Capitola Car Show. I didn't, he had us go down, and it was his idea, and connected us. Me and Rich Novak, our trucks both were restored by Kerry, so we shared this sponsors pick award by Pick and Pull.
And when you say restored, describe because I saw it. It's amazing, but describe what he did to it, because it's restored, but.
Well, just to give you one example, the whole belt line along the back of the cab was just gone, rust. And so I saw a truck on eBay. I was buying another part, and I saw this cab, and I said, hey, can you cut that belt line off of your cab of your truck and send it to me? So he said, yeah, $80.
Wow.
And the shipping, but Kerry put it on there, and it looks like brand new, And I even had that guy send me a cowling that we didn't use, but he used a lot of parts off it because the cowling was just shot with all the rust.
And the paint job on it looks patinaed, I guess is the correct word.
We did it on purpose because I wanted kind of a used truck, not a brand new truck, and I didn't think I'd live long enough for it to get that used look, So we rubbed down to some of the primers and stuff, and it looks just the right touch of that, where it's not perfect.
Right.
And it's drivable. You can use it. So it's a hauler.
Jim, before we go to our second hour, we're going to come back the second hour with Jimbo and Colby. Is there one illustration that's your favorite? We're going to go with Streaming Hands, your favorite? Is that far and beyond anything else?
Yeah, it's my hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and look at it.
There's no logos of me, but my hand.
Okay. This is Neil TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show. That was hour one of the Phillips Show, 3 generations of. We're going to come back with Jimbo and Colby and Jim Phillips, 3 of the Phillips family. We're going to have a lot of fun in the second hour because Colby's got a lot to say. Jimbo, I'm not so sure. Neil TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show. Be right back.
Your source for news, sports, traffic, and weather. AM 1080, KSCO, Santa Cruz.
Today, correspondent Pam Coulter reports.
The pipeline vote mixed oil and politics in the lame duck session, with narrow Senate rejection of the bill derailing a confrontation with the president. But incoming Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said that will happen soon.
This will be an early item on the agenda in the next Congress, and I'm very confident that Senator Hovind's bill will succeed and we'll be able to get it down to the president.
Both parties hope the vote would give an edge to their candidate in the Louisiana Senate runoff 2 weeks from now. Pam Coulter, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
In another vote, the Senate rejected a bill to end the National Security Agency's bulk collection of phone records. Maine Republican Susan Collins supports the program.
Why would we weaken the ability of our intelligence community at a...
A lot of airbag vehicles are going to be recalled, made up through, say, a certain year, which we believe is going to be 2004.
Airbag explosions have been linked to at least 5 deaths. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has suspended Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson without pay for at least the rest of the season. Goodell says Peterson has shown no meaningful remorse for whipping his 4-year-old son with a switch. Players Association spokesman Carl Francis says there's a credibility gap between the agreements the NFL makes and the actions it takes.
The NFLPA will appeal this decision and will demand that a neutral arbitrator oversee the appeal.
Authorities in Cobb County, Georgia say they're investigating child abuse allegations against NBA star Dwight Howard, a center for the Houston Rockets. He's accused of beating his 6-year-old son with a belt buckle. The Dow 40 points higher. This is CBS News.
Are you drowning in a huge IRS debt that you don't have the ability to pay? Well, listen up. We have great news for you. Every tax problem has a solution, and there is a way forward. At People's Tax Relief, we have many programs available to help you, including our EMT program. EMT stands for Emergency Mediation of Taxes. The EMT program is available to both individuals and businesses. Acceptance into the EMT program is 100% based on your financial condition. If you qualify, you could get a reprieve against collections. All threats of asset seizure could be suspended. Accrued penalties on your initial tax liability could be waived, and in certain case collections could be suspended altogether. Qualifications for these measures vary from state to state, so call People's Tax Relief today for your free consultation to see if the EMT program is right for you. Call 800-723-4900. That's 800-723-4900. Call 800-723-4900. 800-723-4900.
If you're like most Americans, you're not thrilled with your bank or your health coverage. Correspondent Heather Bosch has the story.
Many Americans surveyed say they feel they're paying more for less.
More fees from banks, higher premiums and deductibles for health care insurance.
David Van Amberg with the American Customer Satisfaction Index. He says satisfaction with banks slipped 2.6% compared to last year. It's down 7% for employer-provided group health insurance. He says this does not bode well for the end of the year.
With satisfaction on the decline, as it has been now for the last two quarters, the fourth quarter, and particularly as we get towards the holiday season, not looking as bright as we would hope.
Heather Bosch, CBS News.
Home builders are feeling better these days. The National Association of Home Builders Wells Fargo Index rose to 58 this month. A reading above 50 indicates more builders see the sales outlook as good rather than poor, but rising prices have limited sales despite low mortgage rates. I'm Bill Whitney, CBS News.
This is Larry King from The Throne. Did you know that sitting makes going to the bathroom more difficult? That's why I recommend the Squatty Potty as part of your regular bathroom routine. Squatty Potty is a small toilet stool, makes going to the bathroom a pleasure. Modern-day ailments such as constipation, hemorrhoids, and straining have appeared as a direct consequence of sitting on our toilet. Anatomically, our bodies are designed to squat when we go, so instead of your colon being restrained like a pinched garden hose, Squatty Potty aligns your body in the correct natural posture and makes a healthier bathroom experience. Squatty Potty is safe, it's proven, and it's recommended by doctors. Squatty Potty users report better, faster, and more complete eliminations and relief from constipation. Take it from the king. Go to squattypotty.com and use the code KING and receive a free bottle of Sweet Lou deodorizer. What an offer. It makes your bathroom smell great. Go to squattypotty.com, SQUATTYPOTTY.com.
Good evening. You're listening to everybody's favorite radio station, AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. It is now about 6 minutes past 8 p.m. I'm Chris Spencer with your weather and traffic updates for tonight. Let's see here. We have a 20% chance of rain this evening, mostly cloudy, a low around 51. For tomorrow, showers likely mainly before 5 p.m. Cloudy, a high near 65, 60% chance of rain. For tomorrow night, a slight chance of showers before 11 p.m. Then showers after 5 a.m., 20% chance of rain. Monterey Bay boaters forecast for tonight. Southwest winds 5 knots, becoming east after midnight. Wind waves less than 2 feet, with a west swell 5 to 7 feet at 11 seconds. Quick look at the traffic this evening. Running good right now, 59 degrees here at KSCO. Up next, Off the Lip Radio Show.
Opinions expressed in the following sponsored program are not necessarily those of KSCO Radio, its staff, management, or advertisers. If something is said with which you disagree, please call us during the program in order to help us balance comment.
Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip, the show about surfing and skateboarding. If you'd like to join the show tonight, give us a call at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Perlberg and Terry Campion.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of this very special show this evening with the Phillips family, 3 generations of. That includes Jim Phillips, Jimbo Phillips, and Colby. For the first hour, we talk mostly to Jim. But now we're introducing the youngest set of the Phillips family, Mr. Jimbo Phillips, Mr. Colby Phillips. And should we start with Colby?
Yeah.
No, we're not starting with Colby. Colby's shaking his head. He's nervous. What do you mean nervous? That's old hat to you. Jimbo.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks.
This is the third time you've been on it after you turned my co-host gig down.
Yeah, I like being a guest better.
You like being a guest better. You're a pretty good guest. You're pretty laid back in that chair right now.
Thanks, yeah.
We're going to get rid of the minivan.
I'm comfy.
We're getting rid of the minivan.
Hey, if he knew what this gig paid, he'd change his mind for sure.
Right. Yeah, I know he would.
Now hit him with a zinger.
Yeah.
So how was it growing up in the Phillips household, and knowing what your dad did, and how did you what was your first memories of putting a pencil and paper to work for yourself?
My dad was always working on artwork. Yeah, I'd come home from school and he'd be working, and he would work late, and I would draw with him sometimes. I'd pull up a chair beside him and draw, and I drew a lot when I was a kid. I was an only child, and back then there wasn't much on TV or anything, so I had a lot of time to just draw, and I feel like I put in a lot of time when I was a kid, and it ended up working out, that I did spend a lot of time drawing when I was a kid.
Did you like his style? Did you want to do something that was different? You went off on your own, tangent, as it were, or did you like the style that your dad was doing?
I was really into monster movies and stuff when I was a kid, so that was like a big influence for me. I was always drawing like Frankenstein and Godzilla and stuff, and me and my dad would watch monster movies together. And
what was your favorite monster movie?
I liked all the classics, Frankenstein, Dracula, and The Mummy, but my favorite was Godzilla. I was really into the Japanese monsters,
Right.
And on Saturday they'd always have a bunch of movies on matinees and stuff, and so my dad would draw these like lists of like all the movies that were coming up, and they were like these, I wish I still had these lists, but they were like slime and like fangs, and it looked like a slime ball ad, but it was like for the movies that were coming up, and it's like 9 o'clock, Curse of the Mummy, and I'd get these cards and be like, oh yeah, I can't wait, It was a pretty cool memory.
Well, luckily you were into it, or else you'd be terrified of that stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff on the drawing board, you'd scream and run to your room and hide under your pillow.
Oh, yeah, totally. No, I was always intrigued by art, and, I loved looking at my dad's stuff, and, you could look at it forever and see little things. He had, like, this county fair poster with all these little guys running around all over it. Me and my friends would kind of play, like, Where's Waldo? Find the guy, juggling, and you'd look around, try and find him. And sometimes it'd take you, 15 minutes to find the little guy juggling in the corner, or something,
So you guys are somewhat similar. What do you have? What do you put in your a piece, a Jimbo Phillips piece that signifies it's a Jimbo Phillips piece? Shark fin?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have all my little details. I like to put in the shark fin.
I think the shark fin's Jim's, the seagull, maybe?
The pooping seagull, yeah. Slice of pizza, 8-ball, switchblade. You get those little things blasting out of the head or whatever.
Always a tasteful girl.
Yeah. You get all that stuff in there.
So Jim, a quick question: you've done a lot of illustrations of Woodies. Have you ever wanted to own a Woody? Have you ever owned a Woody?
A couple.
Have you?
Yeah.
Do you wish you still had them?
Oh yeah.
Right.
I mean,
the Woody junkyard just kills me, because you think all those Woodies that are now junk. How did that come about? The Woody junkyard, because that's an amazing that's an amazing piece of art right there.
Well, just the danger, the ecological danger to the world of Woodies if they should start fire.
The Woody junkyard burns for years.
Yeah, there's a little smoke going up, and oh no, it's going to be a catastrophe.
So Jimbo, how do you come up with how does it happen that all three of you have gone down this same, including Colby now,
Yeah.
have gone this same, you got this it's like a river of ink that just goes right through the heart of the Phillips family. You're touched by something or other that I have no idea what it is, but you guys are all doing this, down that same pathway. How's that come about?
Well, my dad warned me about the pitfalls of art, long hours and low pay and, and all that stuff. But,
so you just wanted to surf too, you don't want to work.
Yeah, but, yeah.
That's better in my face.
Yeah.
And then how about in the Not a Kitten too? Was that one you guys worked on together?
Yeah, that was one of my early graphics. Yeah. You know, my dad was art director, so you know he kind of coached me along and showed me things and helped me get it to a finished piece.
Jim, did you ever have Jimbo do your homework?
All of it. That's the plan.
Was I'm going to create this
I
kid
go
who
to the
draws
beach
like
and
me?
these guys are slaving away. That's how it works.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Have you ever drawn Rich Novak?
Well,
on the skateboard, right?
Yeah. No, back in the early in the 60s, I did caricatures of my heroes at the beach, and I'd give it to them and then invite them over for lunch. My mom would make sandwiches, so I'd get in with the older guys, and Rich was one of them, and all my surfing idols, I'd draw pictures of them.
TC, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to jump back into Jimbo. You have done, as your father has, you got really into rock and roll posters.
Yeah.
And I got to say, because at the boardroom we have your personal collection of posters that are up on the wall, and people are intrigued by that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. So let's maybe start with some of the bands you've worked with and how that all came about.
I got into like punk rock music when I was a teenager. As just like the energy and like the whole just kind of like aggression you could get out and stuff like that. And so I was always kind of drawn to that. And so when like posters would come up to draw stuff for it, it's kind of like skateboards is like there's no kind of boundaries to what you can draw. So pretty much anything is game. So like if you get to do a poster for Agent Orange or something, you can just draw something crazy and it fits, So I got into that kind of genre. And then we were like silk screening the posters too. So it kind of has those connections with skateboard graphics, kind of, silk screen, finished product, and they're collectible, and you sign them and stuff.
Your favorite, as you look back on your rock posters?
I mean, I have, some of the older ones, they're more crude, but they were kind of just like, they were fun to do because like we were screening them in the garage. Like I'd draw the poster and then we'd burn the silk screens in my garage. I had a little Hopkins wheel, and we'd print them in the garage. And I was even in a band, so sometimes my band would be on the bill, and so I'd draw the poster and then print the poster and then bring the poster to the show, and then I'd play in the show, and by the time the show was over, I was like wiped out.
I'm over it for a while.
Yeah.
And you play drums.
Yeah.
And currently, are you rocking out right now?
No, not in anything organized. Yeah, just playing, just whatever, just jamming.
You just got back from Brazil.
Yeah.
And I follow you in your social networking. And you rock starred out down there, huh?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Is it trip you out that people? I mean, it's you're like a hero to so many people.
Oh,
now.
I mean, I feel like I was representing, me and my dad, or like the Phillips art, and there were so many fans. They were so passionate about the art, and skateboarding and stuff. It was really cool to see, and it was nice. People were really like happy that I was there. They're like, thanks for coming, and they were really grateful, and it was really cool to just kind of absorb all their energy, and just they were really enthusiastic about it. It was like I've been to a couple places, and Brazil was by far the most like amped up place.
And that was a touring skateboard based art show. Is that what's going on down there?
It was Santa Cruz Skateboards sent me down, and they have a distributor down there, Drop Dead Skateboards. And they kind of organized the show and everything, so it was like a art, skateboard, and music show. So they had ramps on the side, guys skating, and then a concert going on, and then the art show on the side. And they had like a projector projecting images onto this like VW van. And then I signed posters, and yeah, it was full on. It was crazy.
I saw some hot chicks pawing you in one of those pictures. No. I was like, whoa, hold everything. That's right. And then actually segue into my next question. Your wife's a really strong woman.
Yeah.
And she's your business partner.
Yeah.
And Jim, you have Dolly, who I know both of you guys have strong women in your lives, and they're kind of like your managers. Could you have done what you've done without your wife's help?
As artists, we don't know anything about money. The wives handle it. We just be creative.
Right.
So it could be Skid Row without the wives right now for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I want to come back with a question for Jimbo. This is Neil and TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show. This portion of the show is brought to you by Drug Free Solution. $2,800 TC offers a solution for heroin and opiate addicts. Their detox method is an app. It takes only 3 days. You can then move on to the 9-month home program to cleanse addiction from your life physically, mentally, and emotionally. Learn more at drugfreesolution.com or follow them on Facebook. Neil TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show here tonight with the Phillips family. This is a 2-hour special. We'll be right back after this very short break. The Off the Lip Radio Show welcomes Santa Cruz Skateboards as the title sponsor of tonight's show. 3 generations of the Phillips family. Since 1973, Santa Cruz has paved the way for skateboarding. Through its iconic artwork and progressive skate team, Santa Cruz continues to help define what skateboarding truly is worldwide. They invite you to check out the past, present, and future of the world of skateboarding on their social media outlets, Instagram at Santa Cruz Skateboards, Facebook.com Santa Cruz Skateboards, and SantaCruzSkateboards.com. Thinking of a vacation in Santa Cruz? Then contact Beach Nest Vacation Rentals at 831-722-0888 to make your reservation. The very best local vacation management company with their staff will take care of the tiniest of details to better your memorable Monterey Bay holiday. They are pet-friendly with a choice of homes on or close to the beach in Santa Cruz and the Central Coast. For further information, go to beachnest.com or follow them on Facebook. Toyota Santa Cruz is under construction, building a state-of-the-art facility at their current location on 41st Avenue and Highway 1. Julie Frigoli, the general manager, would like to invite you all to take advantage of their need for room while all the heavy equipment is on their facility. She would like to inform you that there is no time like now to get unbelievable savings on a new Toyota or one of their certified pre-owned vehicles, and that their highly rated parts and service is still open 7 days a week. So now is the time to take advantage of their mess. Head down to Toyota Santa Cruz or check them out online at SantaCruzToyota.com.
Hi, this is Steve Pereira, the beach guy at Bailey Properties in Santa Cruz, California. If you're looking for a beach home or a coastal property, give us a call at 831-818-7064, or you can call my wife Diane at 831-818-5939, or drop in on our website at lifesabeach.com and check out all the inventory in all price ranges. We've been selling beach properties since 1982. We're here to help you. Give us a call today.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
And we are back with the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO.
The double shows got you, huh?
Yeah, I got double shows going on.
It's weird.
2-hour special tonight with the Phillips family. 3 generations of. This is the, well, we did trivia last time. We couldn't do 2 trivias, can't we, TC?
We can't. We already did trivia. It's done. Yeah.
So, Jim, I got one question for you. I know we're focusing a lot on Jimbo right now, but I want to ask you a quick question. When did the art clash with skateboarding? When did the whole thing they came together? When was that?
It didn't come along until the 80s with the punk rock movement and the punks and the innovation of the wide boards, which really needed graphics. And the punks opened the door for that, because before everything was surf style, and all the skaters of the 70s were surfers first, and they skated when it was flat or secondary.
Right.
But in the 80s, there were skateboarders that never surfed, and that was the difference.
Yeah. And
somehow surfers are conservative with art. They like a plain board and a black wetsuit. I don't know what it is. But the skaters, they wanted all this color and stripes and zigzags and whatever, and it was a great, freedom. And that's where the music is the freedom to do anything. Mm-hmm. And that went along with that. So it opened the doors wide open.
Did you like the music?
The art. Yeah, there was some really good, I listened to Jimbo's music. And there were some really good the Dead Kennedys and stuff. Stuff I really liked.
Right.
Johnny Rotten, you know.
Yeah. You used to like that? You like that?
Oh yeah.
You're a fan of it?
Yeah.
And did Jimbo play drums in your house?
No, not really back then.
I was going to ask you if you're a fan of his drum
I did have
set.
a rap rule in the studio. No rap and no Led Zeppelin.
You didn't like Robert
I was
Plant?
just tired of Led Zeppelin.
Tired of it?
Couldn't take any more.
That's one of the funniest rules I've ever heard.
Right? Didn't I?
That's a true rule. Well, that is some breaking stuff.
The phone number to call in tonight is 831-479-1080 if you want to call and talk to any one of the Phillips family except Colby because he went missing. Where'd he go? Where'd the nipper go? Colby, how old are you? You just turned what?
13.
How was your birthday?
Good.
How was the cake?
Good.
Tasty? What kind was it?
Apricot.
Ooh,
Apricot. That's new.
Apricot?
I had it at their house.
Oh, you did? Was it
Grandpa?
Was it tasty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did Dolly get that cake?
Yeah.
The apricot cake. Uh-huh.
How's so you know you're officially now in the art business, right, Colby?
What?
You're officially in the art business, correct?
The dog jam. It all started there,
Yeah,
right?
who gave you your first job?
You.
How much money did I give you?
$50.
I think that deal was for life.
Yeah, what-
$50 for life.
He sent me a picture of getting the money. Of me giving him the money.
I still got my shirt. He signed it too.
Yeah, I got one signed by Colby and Jimbo.
Yeah, well, you watch out. You'll be signing other things soon.
How much should $50 get me now? How much should $50 get me now? Anything?
Sketch card.
Attaboy, Colby.
Yeah.
And is that something you want to do, Colby? I mean, we've talked about this before. I know you enjoyed art. Is your future? Are you going to be an artist?
Yeah.
That's what you want to do. Jimbo, you're cool with that, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
That'd be great.
And do you guys draw together just like you did with your father?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and you gonna get him to do your homework too?
Oh, for sure. Put him to work early.
And you'll be surfing, and Colby will be slaving away.
Colby,
Exactly.
Colby, what's your favorite piece of art but done by your granddad?
The Screaming Hand.
Definitely Screaming Hand. And of your dad?
Probably that Roscop one.
Which one?
The
one over there?
Decayed one.
The decayed one.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a piece that you've done for yourself that's your favorite? Dog Jam?
Not really.
No, you're still working, so you're kind of fresh, huh?
Well, I was going to ask you how sticker sales are, because I know you have a little sticker business going on right now, which we ought to get your rep by the store because we can use some more. Oh, yeah, for sure. But are you getting the money for that? Is that your deal?
Yeah. I have to pay my dad back for buying the stickers.
Oh, I owe you, Dad, huh? Well, hey, everybody needs a good manager. So until you get the strong wife, we'll have Dad take care of your business.
Who's the manager, Dad or Mom?
Dad, probably.
Dad's managing.
I manage the art, and she manages the money.
The do-re-mi.
Yeah.
And that's why there hasn't the IOUs are still floating around out there. So when he pays you off, the money goes to her.
Colby,
Exactly.
you were just commissioned by a band in Salinas, correct?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Cali Nation.
Okay. What'd you do for them?
A bear drawing.
Okay. And where can we see it? Can we see it on your Instagram?
Yeah.
How many followers do you have?
Like 883.
883. How about, do you tweet?
How many girls?
Yeah.
Do you have it counted? How many girls follow you?
800.
What?
883.
He's 13. You know he's checking out the ladies. Oh, boy.
Yeah. That was,
I'm waiting for the kick.
My mom.
I made the mistake of having your mom sit behind me.
So, are you surfing, skating? What are you doing?
Both, yeah.
You doing?
I've seen some great wipeout videos of you surfing.
Yeah.
Have you perfected that?
Yeah, kind of.
He's perfecting everything on Instagram. Every time you pull up Instagram, there's a him of skating.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, I follow him. I check it out. Yeah, he got bonelesses and disasters and stuff recently. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been skating a lot. And who's your skate buddies right now? Who are you hanging out with?
Lorenzo and Quinn.
And Lorenzo's surfing now too, right?
Yeah, me and him surf.
And
like
skimming.
every day.
Skimming, surfing. from Star Benny, which we'll be going to later on tonight.
Yeah, little Lorenzo's shredding, man. He's doing great. Yeah, he's doing good. So that's a great little guy for you to hang out with. I approve, Mom. And and I think that's a great
Now,
guy.
Colby, you ever spend some time with your granddad? Is he kind of showing you some of the tricks of the trade?
Yeah.
How much coaching are you getting?
We did like a skull painting little workshop at Grandpa's, and Colby did a really amazing skull painting in acrylic.
Right.
It was really cool.
It comes with cake?
What's that?
That comes with cake, you know?
yeah, comes with free cake.
So how long do you guys spend time doing that together? Is it just a short thing, or just
I kind of made a thing where kind of give him kind of art homework. So like he can draw whatever he wants, but just like spend like a half an hour each night after your homework drawing.
Right.
And that's kind of his art homework.
As his dad, this is the direction you think this is the direction he's gonna be going in?
I think if he wants to pursue it, I think he'll have an audience for it for sure.
Right.
You know.
What are the pitfalls as far as that you're telling him that may come about?
Well, I think I think my dad paid the hardest dues. Being the first. So he had to kind of go through those struggling artist years, and.
You're the one driving the cheap minivan. You're struggling over there too, by the way.
Well,
with a cheap minivan.
It's definitely
Jen's got a Ferrari. So I don't know what you're talking about.
My dad kind of paved the way for the art, and now there's a lot of people that want to see the art, so they're kind of like just chomping at the bit for art, and so all I got to do is just give them stuff,
right.
and they're ready for it,
And how much of his art are you combining with yours? Like, if you go to Brazil, is that something that Santa Cruz Skateboards want you to do? Is combine yours with his?
Well, they
and is that okay with you? Is that you want your own deal, or is that okay for you to combine?
I don't mind doing it once in a while. Santa Cruz, they want to keep some of the, obviously the Screaming Hand, you got to keep that alive, and like some of the themes. So I've done some versions of the Screaming Hand, the Decaying Hand, and the Rock On Hand, and a couple different ones. And then
and is there a rumor you're doing all three of you are going to work on a project?
Yeah, that's the rumor. Yeah, we're going to do.
Can we get the rumor?
A triptych skateboard, like 3 skateboards that all connect. That one's by Colby, one's by me, and one's by Jim.
That's breaking news on the Off Lip Radio Show, Neil.
Is that breaking news?
Well, we just announced it.
I think it's pretty official. So.
Official. Wow,
I'm excited.
It's official now.
Well, I think that what's awesome about that is the fact that you three are doing it together. I think is fabulous, but that's going to be a neat little series to get all 3 boards.
Yeah.
So anyone who's listening and collects skateboards, those 3 will be ones you want to call your local shop and make sure you can get, because
exactly
that'll be fun. As we know, skateboard collecting is so big, and great segue for Jim. Jim, do you ever kind of trip out that some of these boards are $3,000-$4,000 now?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, and all up until the 90s, they weren't worth squat.
Right.
And somehow the internet had something to do with the collectors getting in touch with guys like us that had skateboards, and they started asking if we'd sell them. And I sold some ones I wish I hadn't have, but I thought I was selling them for a lot until I saw them on eBay for $100. So I sold a Alice for $400. I thought that was great.
The Alice in Wonderland board.
Yeah. Now it's priceless.
Right. Very valuable.
Touch it.
Huh.
So you got at home. You got the hot rod collection. You got the surfboard collection. You got the skateboard collection. Which is more dear to your heart?
Well, they're all inadvertent, or not like really collections. They just happen, which is a good kind of collection to have,
Right.
But I collect Surfer magazine. I have almost every one, and there's ones that I hunt for, and I read every one, make notes, find all the people I know that are in them, people from Santa Cruz, anything of Santa Cruz. I make notes so I can find it, because there's 500 of them. So if I want to find something, I go with my little notebook and find the volume number and in my notes, and I can find it.
And you also formed one of the founding members of the Pleasure Point Surfing Association?
One of the founding members of the Pleasure Point Surfing Association, Pleasure Point Night Fighters.
And with the association, for someone who's listening doesn't know, that was a surf club here.
It was a surf club, a competition, surf club. We won the first contest, the Steamer Lane winter contest that's now the O'Neill Classic,
Mm-hmm.
But in that contest, it was a 2-day contest, and I tied for first with Steve Bigler on the first day, but I lost it on the second day. But it was pretty high point. Your club won the trophy.
And the Night Fighters, which you were a founder of, they just resigned the Night Fighters, I guess, right? It's the retirement party.
Well,
I saw Jim I saw you on the dance floor at the retirement party. By the way, I came in. The first thing I see was.
And another question on top of it, is the Pleasure Point Surfing Association still something that's alive?
The Pleasure Point Surfing Association is, I think I can announce this, they're putting on a surf fair in Santa Cruz for 2015.
Awesome. And where's that going to be at? Do we know yet?
The Civic Auditorium.
Just like the one we did in the early 80s, right? Didn't we do one over there too?
Yeah, well, we did one, and I think it was 84.
The power went out. I was there.
A terrorist bombed the PG&E plant. Our power went out just when the show started at 8 in the morning.
Right.
And the fire department right next door, they shut us down, and we lost our shirt. And then we tried to do it the next year. Same thing, licked our wounds and did it again. And the Chamber of Commerce jumped us by a month and put on a water sports show. And their office is right there in the Civic, so that was pretty dirty pool. But so we lost our shirt a second time, and now we think...
maybe one day you're going to guys get out there together.
Yeah, for sure.
We used to go out every morning, Jimbo and I, for all of your teenage years. Really.
Yeah.
Right. Great memories, huh?
Oh, yeah, it was great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is Neil TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show. Here tonight with our second hour, special show with Mr. Jim Phillips, Mr. Jimbo Phillips, and Mr. Colby Phillips. Just had his 13th birthday. Jim just had his 70th birthday. Happy birthday, Jim.
Oh, thank you.
We'll be right back after this very short break.
Saba Ana is a small local business here in Santa Cruz, California. We make clothing and accessories specializing in swimwear for extreme sports athletes, as well as all levels of athletes here in Santa Cruz and worldwide. Our swimwear sets us apart from the competition by a set standard of surf and skate lifestyle that are quality made to prevent those water frustrations like chafing or falling off. All our models are team riders that are real athletes. Check out our line at sabaana.com. That's SABAANNA.com. For custom orders, call us at 831-295-9913.
This is Brother Timmy.
And Cleo from Cleo's Corner at Pono Hawaiian Grill.
Featuring wraps, teriyaki bowls, plate lunches, amazing and creative salads, vegetarian and gluten-free options, and over 20 different types of poke, all made to order, fast, fresh, and healthy. And what's your favorite, Khalil?
The chicken fingers.
Located at 120 Union Street in downtown Santa Cruz. Call us for takeout at 831-426-PONO or check us out on the web at ponohawaiiangrill.com. We put the ono in Pono.
Hi, this is Susie with Real Estate 831. I have some great news that finally, after 25 years of everybody looking at that hole in the ground on Pacific Avenue, I can say to you now, something is actually going to happen there. So stay tuned to the Our Local Sports Show for further development. People ask me all the time, have I missed the boat? Have I lost that opportunity to buy a house? And I tell them right now, with rents rising the way that they have been, they're averaging 10% a year increases in rents, but yet interest rates are so low, it's still a great time to buy and lock in your housing costs in the next 30 years. So come talk to me at Real Estate 831 and let's see if we can put a plan in place for you. You can follow us on Facebook. You can call the office 475-5695, or you can check out our website, re831.com.
It's a new life for me, yeah, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Hi, this is Sherry from The Healthy Way, here with Neil from the Off the Lip Radio Show and the Our Local Sports Show, who successfully completed a weight loss program with us.
Yes, thank you, Sherry. I'm so stoked how I feel. How you and your staff helped me achieving my goal of losing 25 pounds. It truly was easy. And importantly, 3 months later, I'm still at my desired weight. I am feeling better, surfing better, and mention this KSCO ad for your free consultation with The Healthy Way.
Let us show you how you, too, can use our simple and easy program. Just give us a call at 831-462-5900 or take a look for yourself at thehealthyway.us or follow us on Facebook.
And we are back with the Off the Lip Radio Show, hour number 2, with the Phillips family, who may have single-handedly become true icons of the surf and skate art world. What do you think, Mr. CC?
100%. I don't really know of anyone who would have the length of time to be at the forefront of an industry.
And this art that you see nowadays, I mean, it just as soon as you see it, you just know where it comes from. It's on its own. It's very, very unique, and it's here in Santa Cruz.
Look at our audience.
The audience is sick.
Yeah.
We are on the surfchannel.com. If you want to check out our audience tonight, we have. Describe it, TC.
Well, going across, Klaus came all the way from Germany. Thank you so much. That guy's a gentleman.
Emmanuel Guzman.
Emmanuel Guzman is here. Sharik and Shannon, great guy. Roskop's all over the place. Meekster's here, so yeah, we got a great studio audience for tonight. Yeah.
Mix is a great guest too, brother, isn't he?
Oh, he's funny, yeah. No, this is star-studded.
So, Jimbo.
Yeah.
What you gonna think? Anything really big coming down the pike? I mean, you've always got something up your sleeve. We want to get you to announce on the radio. You always got something going on.
Yeah, I mean, I just did that trip to Brazil, so kind of recovering from that a little bit. But I hope to get my book finished here. It's taken me a while to get it together, but hopefully this year I'll get it wrapped up. I have a friend helping me out now, so we're gonna tag team.
Is your dad helping you on that too?
Well, his is like the blueprint, like kind of, look at his and see how he did everything and kind of,
Right. Who would Jim? Who would play you in when the Phillips movie is going to be made in Hollywood? Who's playing Jim Phillips?
Wow.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
That's a good one. I can see it.
I was going George Clooney.
Oh, Clooney would be good too.
What do you think?
I think they're both great.
Who would Jimbo?
Jimbo? I don't know.
I think Matt Damon.
Yeah. Matt Damon.
I was thinking that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I think it'd be a great movie.
Yeah.
He's a spitting image for Tom Curran.
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
Tom Curran stand in.
I'm gonna have to ask you. I'm gonna have to ask Jim a question on the air. Right here, right now. Do you think, Jim? Do you think you'd come back on the air at some point with Rich Novak?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, there we go, right there.
Yeah.
We need wine though.
Yeah.
With him.
I can't have wine here.
Yeah.
Well, wine.
FCC says no alcohol.
We've never had alcohol. We've never had alcohol. We've never had alcohol in here.
Nope.
Sorry.
It's against the FCC rules.
Not even that Christmas Carol show when you were drunk.
I came drunk.
It's different.
Yeah. We sing carols on Christmas Eve and we're terrible. Because who's going to listen on Christmas Eve? So it works.
We'll invite Jimbo next time.
Gotta have some eggnog.
Yeah, we did some nogging.
It's a very interesting thing.
Jim, are you still drawing at all? Are you still active?
Well, I have some really physical art that I'm doing because I really got tired of sitting in a chair my whole life.
Right.
So I'm retired now, so I'm outdoors and I do landscaping with concrete and rubble, and I've hauled probably 50 tons of rubble up and put it in place and built all these retaining walls and stairways and patios and walkways and all this stuff. And I just love it, being outside and working on it. It's like, to me, a surf stoke. I wake up, what were the bricks doing? And then, but nobody's going to drop in on me.
Right, exactly right.
And physically great workout. I mean, you're hauling concrete around.
No, I sweat all day. And I'm on my feet sweating all day.
Good for you.
I think it's really healthy for my condition, my cancer.
Was that a problem for you, surfing, as the crowds became too much for you?
Oh, there's just way too many idiots, out there. It's just, you'll get run over or something, So we surfed the bet. Even in Jimbo's day, we surfed sharks with nobody out all the time. I mean, it was just the era was so long before it got, like this. And, it's just a matter of growth. And popularity of surfing, worldwide and everything, and the selling of it, how it's the principal marketing tool for everything in Santa Cruz, So of course everybody's going to head there with their foamies or whatever they are.
Right.
I think it's a great time to ask our favorite decade question.
That's right.
Yeah, we always ask, and we'll start with you, Jim. Your favorite decade here in Santa Cruz?
Well, the 60s.
60s.
Why?
Well, other than, I didn't meet my wife till 67, but that's still 60s, so I would say everything, because those were the golden years to me, when surfing, there were no leashes, so you had to be a good surfer or you'd lose your board and it'd be destroyed in the rocks. So that separated the men from the boys right there. And no wetsuits, there's another one. And so there were hardy souls that deserved being in the lineup, where now they're just all these floaters.
All right.
Have you done work with Jack O'Neill?
Oh, a lot. My first job was with Jack, glassing, and then I was doing these drawings of, my heroes, and he did an art show for me in his showroom there on 41st Avenue way back then. And then George Olson was a shaper, and then when he went to make Olson boards, I went to work for George.
Right. One of my favorite pictures of you is with yourself and Johnny Rice in your pickup truck.
Oh, neat! You must have talked to Rosemary.
I think you gave me the picture, but do you go stop by and see Johnny at all, or?
No, I can't.
Right.
It's a danger for me to go in there. My immune system.
Who was your favorite surfer from that era?
Well, I have on my wall in front of my desk 5 of my heroes. I call it my heroes wall.
And they were?
Yeah, and so you have Johnny Rice and Jack O'Neill and Rich Novak and Doug Hout and George Olson.
Yeah.
And last week at my party, I brought Doug Hout and Rich in to see my wall for the first time. I've had it up there forever, and then now I finally got, look, you're on my wall and you're my heroes.
What did Rich say? What did Rich say?
Life. Hard to can or bottle that feeling, and so I think it's an awesome feat that you guys have done, and I congratulate all 3 of you. I think it's fantastic.
This is the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO. Be right back after this very short break. Star Benny is a small family Italian and Argentinian restaurant with something for all. Empanadas, grilled steaks, delicious pastas, homemade desserts, patio pet friendly, specials for kids, romantic seating, big screen TV, beers on tap, and just mention the Off the Lip Radio Show and make your own deal with the owners, Sergio and Giulietta. And for those of you who surf, they even have a starving surfer menu, like a huge helping of spaghetti and meatballs after your session for just $10.95. Remember, they are only open for dinners because during the day, they serve. Star Benny, 2-1245 East Cliff Drive in Santa Cruz. Call them at 831-479-4307 or go to star-bene.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Warnerholder from North Bay Ford. Proud to sponsor the Off the Lip Radio Show. We're here to support the local surf community with a full inventory of trucks, hybrids, and plug-in hybrids. Come see why the F-150 has been the best-selling vehicle for 39 years. We have the perfect surf vehicle in stock, the new 2015 Ford Transit van. We have a model that'll fit your needs. Come to the no-hassle, easy place to buy a car. No stress, no drama. We make it easy for everybody. We're locally owned, locally operated. North Bay Ford at 1999 SoCal Avenue or www.northbayford.com.
Chill Out Cafe on 41st Avenue, Santa Cruz is not just a block from some of the world's best surf, but it is also where you can go relax and order the tastiest grub before and after your sesh. Plump burritos, fresh salads, sky-high sandwiches, and a superb selection of hot and cold drinks. They have something for you. Go to chilloutcafesantacruz.com to view their menu, and to place your order to go, call 831-477-0543. Chill Out Cafe, where they roll the fatties.
And we are back with the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO from Santa Cruz Waves. We have Yvonne. She's got a little announcement to make. Come over here, sweetheart.
Hi, if you'd like to see some behind-the-scenes photos, go to santacruzwaves.com and click on the event tab. Thank you.
Man.
We had paparazzi here.
We got chicks in the house with camera. Huh?
Santa Cruz Waves.
SantaCruzWaves.com. We want to thank you for them supporting the show tonight and taking these photographs. So if you want to go behind the scenes, photographs of the Phillips family, of TC, looking pretty svelte.
She's got my best side back
Chicks
there.
in the house. We got the whole audience over there. Go to SantaCruzWaves.com and click what? The event
tab.
Hey, click the event tab. Where do we finish the show at? Where do we finish the show?
Man, planning our next meeting.
We're gonna have. I think we're gonna have Doug Hout, Rich Novak, Jim Phillips.
Wow.
In the house.
That'd be cool.
Like I say, NHP.
That's it, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the NHP show.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be well deserved. I think Mr. Phillips will come back into that for that show.
Absolutely.
You know, that'll be a fun show.
Sure
Get
would.
you guys recorded. You know, get you guys because we are recording all the surf and skate history in Santa Cruz and beyond. And it's very, very important to have all three of you on the recorded, digitally recorded, so you guys are gonna have that forever. So Colby, okay, after tonight tomorrow you're gonna get the podcast. So everyone, you're gonna be the podcast. So you're gonna need to put that out. You Instagram that, okay? Go to SantaCruzWaves.com. Steal their photos. Okay, you know how to do that. Drag and cut and paste. What the heck you do?
Colby, are you Snapchatting yet?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Are you Snapchatting? Because the chicks on there too. Yeah,
I know what goes on. I
want to give a shout out to Cassidy, Colby's sister.
Of course,
she's a budding photographer, so she's carrying on the artistic realm and in the photography world, which is
very, very cool.
And how was volleyball this year?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, How'd they do?
Oh, they killed it. They undefeated.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
that was
photographer and slam dunk specialist.
Yeah. She's actually a good artist. She's good at drawing, but she's more into photography, so we'll let her let her go.
We'll shout out for home Dolly's home listening. So hi, honey.
Okay, hi, honey. He'll be home very shortly, honey.
And Dolly has to come to that next show.
Yes,
right
yeah,
on.
I
absolutely.
insist.
Jim, the proudest thing about your son, Jimbo.
The proudest
thing you
just
can.
That he is who he is. I mean, it's so amazing. And with Colby, I mean, this is just a father's dream.
Father's dream is it father's for whatever he did, whatever he chose in his path of life. I mean, he chose to go down the same avenue you did, but that has to make you even more proud.
Oh yeah, and all my competition dropped off the edge of the earth when Jimbo came along, and then now Colby, they all go, "Oh brother, how can I compete?"
Right.
So
there is no competition.
Up for years.
Yeah, it is true though. It's hard to knock off what you guys do now based on the fact that we have so much history to it. So you've almost can take ownership of your genre of art.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Well, everyone is emulating it, and so they naturally attribute it to us by seeing it.
Right. And the knockoffs, we always talk about that, and we I think we stopped, but it's flattering, I'm sure, to see people want to knock it off because of the fact that what has been created.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be hundreds of versions of Screaming Hands floating around out there, from kids to adults. A lot of them are just underground, but some people actually try and produce these things.
Well, more than that, though, the styles are emulated, and you can't trademark or copyright a style.
Right.
So the style becomes the surf and skate, which when I started, there was no surf and skate market.
Right.
So now the whole market has grown, and it's kind of grown from a lot of what we were doing and other artists. But it's like the default graphic for skateboarding.
Right. And when is the Screaming Hand Art Show? I'm really intrigued by that. The one that all the artists are working on together.
Gosh, I don't know the date. I'm sorry, but 2015.
So it's next year sometime.
Yeah,
I really want to make sure that we get advance notice of when that's happening.
That's gonna be a good one.
And have you started working on yours yet, Jimbo?
Upstairs here.
I know. You're last minute Larry, huh?
Well, I got time. There is time.
Are you a procrastinator?
Nah. Well, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Don't take that.
Okay. He's a surfer. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I saw him in the surf the other day. He's ripping.
Jimbo?
Yeah. Tearing it up. Got the KSCO board. Tearing it up.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I got to get out there.
You do. Colby looking good too.
I got a question because Jim just said it's crowded with idiots, and Colby, you're surfing now. Well, I mean, you don't remember when there was no crowd. Do you think it's crowded? What's your take on the current crowd situation?
Yeah, it's really crowded, like on the weekends and stuff.
And I don't want to give away your secret spot, but where are you surfing?
Where's your secret spot?
Yeah.
Inside Second Peak?
Yeah, usually Second Peak.
Inside there?
Yeah.
Got your own little nugget right there, huh?
Yeah.
Low tide.
Yeah. He scores.
And the girls at school, now that you're surfing?
When you're on a night, huh?
I don't know.
What? You don't know?
You're on the Shoreline Surf team. You weren't here for the show the other day. What happened there?
I wasn't feeling.
Oh, that's right. You weren't feeling.
Oh, so you're on the surf team too? So you're rocking the surf team jacket at school now?
Yeah.
Holy
They
smokes.
haven't gave it to us yet.
What?
Yeah. What's that?
Next
Come on.
week.
Come on, Michael Allen. Get up with the jackets. Let's go.
We never had surf team at school.
Now it's like PE.
Yeah.
Jim, you didn't go to school. You were drawing.
Oh, no, I was there.
What are you talking about?
I was there.
You were
Physically, just not mentally.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, I want to thank the Phillips family for coming down to the show tonight. It's a 2-hour special. It's been a dream of mine to have all you three sit in front of me and be able to record this piece of Santa Cruz history. And I hope everyone enjoyed the show.